Here comes the sun, do do do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Hello and good morning, and welcome to Joe's Bus Train Planning Adventures. And today we're going to Codsall because obviously we're saying goodbye to Bangor buses operating the 5 and the X5, and it's going to be a very fantastic day. Last time I was there, it was freezing cold December, but now we got sunshine April here. Coming towards the end of April, and British summertime is now on the horizon. So we're just heading to the bus stop. I'm going to start at Merry Hill and get the 15. If I don't see you beforehand, I'll see you at Wolverhampton, where I'll be doing either the 5 or the X5 over to Codsall and coming back into Wolverhampton. So it's going to be a fantastic day today. So shall we do it? Yes, we will. Okay. Anyway, guys, here we are. We've just arrived at Wolverhampton bus station, and we're going down towards Stansea for our service number 5. Well, X5, so we're going to do the X5 first, that goes directly to Codsall, and come back on the 5 that goes on a detour into Wolverhampton. And so I'm just heading over to the stand, and it shares the same stand as the 891 service, which goes from here to Telford. So I'm just going to head on to stand right now, and I'll see you on the X5. And the bus we have is an Optare Solo SR, which is SR10 KSV. Whilst when we come back on the main 5, it will be YD63 UZY, the X-IGO one. So here we are on stand right now. So then, as you can this is like a 15 to 20 minute journey. So this is the X5 to Codsall, operated by Bangor. So we're on SR10 KSV X Vale Travel. This was like a couple of minutes late on departure from Wolverhampton, so it didn't cause a bit of a knock effect, but we will make that time up as soon as we can. And because obviously we're due back here at 13:30 into the centre of Wolverhampton. I do apologise for the delay of being on this service to Codsall this morning. Wow, what a brilliant, beautiful sunny day it is today in Wolverhampton. And we're just going to now go across the city. We used to operate services that used to run this service in the past when it used to go, when it was known as the 535 and the 634, and that was when they used the older type Optare Solos as well as the usual, as well as like their little mini vans, the bread vans, if you remembered back in the day. And it was 20. And then it was, I think it was shared with National Express, well, under Travel West Midlands, unless Travel West Midlands then took over the running of the service. And then it was then renumbered to 5 and 5A. And it was also known as the Codsall Clipper back in the day, if you remember the Codsall Clipper, because obviously they had B7s that were branded for this service. 2020 came along, the 5A was dropped, and obviously it went AWOL whilst the number 5 continued to operate in and around Codsall. And of course there was a sister bus to this one called the 10B that went all round Burton Way to Rottersley Park, Rottersley. Obviously that stopped operating in 2023 when the 10 series dropped journeys on that service. And then 2020, and then the same year, National Express West Midlands confirmed they will be losing, but they were going to lose the 5 service from Wolverhampton, the last Codsall service. But obviously they still provide the school service in Codsall. But obviously, with the route was actually taken over by Bangor, which we're on, that does Mondays to Saturday day times, whilst Monday to Saturday evenings and Sunday day times is operated by Cannock-based Chase Rider. And Chase Rider is part of like BNG Centre Bus and has and obviously it also has a little bit of sharing with select bus services. So they've taken over the Sunday tender and the evenings, but from May, Chase Rider will be having this route all together. So they'll be having the Sunday, and so they'll be having the Monday to Saturday day times as well as the Monday to Saturday evenings and the Sunday service. And of course, following on from that, the 70 and 71, which come from Cannock into Wolverhampton, will extend into the bus station to provide the interwork with the service. So they'll interwork with the 5 and the 5 will increase to a half-hourly service, but obviously this X5 will just discontinue, so nothing will replace it. So here we go, now going along. Started riding that in 2017. That was when they had the older type of solos like the YFO2SKO and also a few of the older battery. I had a lot of battery rolled cocktail solos back in the day up until 2019 when Enviro 200 started to come in as part of the awarding of the tender contract. Which was the 53. So I had a lot of Enviros over the years, and of course I've also diversified into these type of Monte Solo SRs, with the first one being YD63 UZY, the Exigo one being the first one, which we'll see when we're on route. Now of course recently they also got a street light wheel forward. Obviously I don't know where that is today. Anyway, so I don't know where the street light is today, but it's nice to see that we're riding an Optima Solo SR. And with Chase Rider taking over the full timetable, I think what buses they could likely put on. Maybe they could put on an MCV, or maybe they could put on MCV Evolution, or maybe a V7, maybe a solo like this one, or maybe an older solo, who knows, but as I say, anything is possible. Well, it could be an NMC, who knows, it could be anything that they can allocate to the route. Because Chase Rider have a lot of batches, especially with the ex-Aretha ones. Because if you remembered, a route Chase Rider acquired the Aretha Cannock's operations back in 2021. guys, as you know, we are just crossed from the TFW boundary and we're now entered Staffordshire. So we're now in Staffordshire area now. We're North Staffordshire and we just passed the other Codsall SR, which is the one with the leather seats, which is YD63 UZY, and which is one of my favourite Codsall SRs. On the back of the fleet, so we'll be going back on that one. So I'm returning by that route on the return journey back into Wolverhampton. Similar to this one, ABS and A4. Obviously because ZY was famous for being on my route. Anyway guys, here we are. As you know, the bus has gone empty, as it quite likely goes empty all the way to Codsall. And also shout out to Wentville Traveller, who I bumped into earlier in Wolverhampton City Centre. Lovely to see you, Wentville Traveller. Safe travels, by the way. And also shout out to Black Country Traveller. Well, Wolverhampton bus lad it is now. So anyway, Millbrook train station. I'm just stopped by. There's a train run by Transport Wales. So as you know, the X5 takes the direct run to Codsall. This is a very, very fantastic village. Codsall is fantastic village. So got quite a few little shops here. You've got charity shops. You wouldn't get major shops, but there is a cooperative here. Co-op, so you've got a co-op. There's a co-op here in Millbrook, and there's Costa, Pendrell Court, and so Codsall. So welcome. So I'd like to welcome you to Codsall now. So our next trip will be on the 5s back into Wolverhampton. Of course, we've got the library here, York Library. So here we are, this is Wolverhampton Road, so the 5 comes out that side, so we'll be doing the detour on the return journey back to Wolverhampton. So yeah, thank you. So once again guys, thank you for watching. Keep yourselves well, and of course beautiful sunny day here today in sunny Codsall. So last time we were here it was freezing cold, but now we've come to the reality. This is one of the best times to visit Codsall is in the summer months. So welcome then to Codsall. So here's the village of Codsall. So here we are, Codsall.